Hi everybody, this is Paget Brewster. I am coming to you live from beautiful downtown Santa Monica. Kevin Pollak, unfortunately, for me, is cast in another high budget, big budget, fancy, beautifully written, interesting, star-studded film and can't be here today. So he's asked me to fill in for him as a guest host. This is my third time, so I'm still 9,994 hours away from being good at it, according to Malcolm Gladwell. So I apologize in advance. Today, our guest is a lovely, very, very funny young lady who you know from, you know her from Burning Love. You know her, she was a judge on Last Comic Standing. You know her from Dice. You know her from her first comedy special is viewable now, I'll find out from her where, called Live from Bimbos, which is great. She's also the creator and star and writer and producer of Comedy Central's hit show Another Period, where I play her mother. Please welcome my favorite boss of all time, Natasha Leggero.
Thank you.
You look so, you're louche today. You got the hat and the
Remember,
glass.
you said it was like Joaquin Phoenix going off the deep end?
When he was when you didn't know where he was coming from and he wore the glasses and he was on Letterman, it was kind of scary. Here's what happened. Natasha's very busy. And it's not fair. I wouldn't do it. I don't know how she keeps up the frenetic pace of her successful creative product creating life. Content. She creates content from scratch. I do not.
This is something you're doing.
What? Right now?
Yeah.
No, I'm filling in for Kevin. This isn't.
Oh.
I mean, this is original content, but I have not created it.
I see what you're saying.
I texted Natasha that this would be on camera, not a podcast.
You didn't text me. You put in an email that I didn't read.
Okay. All right.
Have you started doing that, just skimming things?
Yeah, I know. But you're totally fine. You're like, I got a hat. I'm going to put my glasses on. I'm not going to do hair and makeup. This is what I wear to a podcast. I thought this was going to be a podcast.
I thought it was a podcast.
And I love it. Like, that's that kind of thing where I would be afraid. I would want to put on lipstick, and you're just rolling with it. You're just like, I got my glasses.
I mean, I could put some lipstick on.
No, don't. You don't need to.
I could take my glasses off.
You don't need to. I kind of like it because you look like you really don't give an F. I forgot. Can I swear? Yeah. Hey, Jamie! Oh. Guys, look who we have. It's Jamie. And please explain the title that you would like to be referred to as.
I don't know if I have an official title. I think, Sam's the kick in the side. I don't know. I write some things for the show. So maybe head writer? I'm not sure.
Head writer? Well, geez Louise, Sam. What does Sam do? Sam's not even here.
But whenever you're describing Kevin's movie, you got about two things correct. It does have a star-studded cast and it's well written, but that's about it.
It's not a big budget movie. I know.
Wait, did he write the movie?
No. Did he create this content?
Yeah, it's based on a book. It's a true story.
But why did you say that it's unfortunate for you that he got in this movie?
Oh, because I would because I'm jealous and a little bitter about it that I never get cast in really good movies, and B, I had to drive in the traffic to get here to do the interview, and I'm afraid that I'm a bad guest host.
Oh, so you don't even want to be here?
No, I do.
Because I'm only here for you.
Because I'm facing my fear of failing and being bad at something, and I'm trying to get better, but it frightens me, and then I find out that it's live. Is like even more frightening. So I'm really glad that you're here because I really appreciate it. You're easy to interview and you're very funny. See,
You've
I'm already
never interviewed me. I feel like I'm not going to be good at this.
No, I haven't even started interviewing you. I think you're going to be great at it. You ready?
Can we just have a conversation?
Yes, we can. But first we're going to speed through.
Do your thing.
Because people don't. No. You. I'm gonna ask you questions, but I'm going to tell you. You answer briefly these because no one cares about anything we ever did until they first saw us. So it's like where you grew up and all that. But start in your college experience to leaving New York, moving to LA. Briefly, you can do this.
Okay, I was born in Rockford, Illinois,
Correct.
And then when I was like 18, or how old are you when you're a senior?
18, I think.
Okay, so I was 18, and I was like, I have to get out of here, and then I could only afford. I I tried to get into Juilliard.
Wait a minute, why are you laughing at that?
Because I just thought they would accept me for my headshot. And then they didn't.
Okay.
And so then I didn't have any money, so I went to Illinois State University, and then I hated it there, and I just wanted to move to New York, but I couldn't afford to. So then I got, I would do study abroad programs. So I'd be like, I'm going to England for a year. And then I went to Australia. And then I finally was able to move to New York because I got into this Stella Adler Conservatory. And then I was there for 5 years, and then I moved out here, and I've been here for like 13 years.
Wait, now I'm going to totally go against my own advice to you a second ago. Did you get a degree in theater criticism?
Yeah.
Did you want to be a theater critic?
No, it was just the only, because I went to, after Stella Adler, I was trying to finish the degree I started at. I went to college for 9 years, so I was trying to finish the degree that I started at Illinois State, but they didn't have a BA. Wait,
Okay.
what is it?
Bachelor of
They didn't
Arts.
have a BFA.
Bachelor of
Bachelor
Fine Arts.
of Fine
Okay.
Arts, which is performance. At Hunter College, which was the City University of New York, they only had, for me to finish that degree, they only had BA. And then theater criticism was one of the, and I had taken a theater criticism class and liked it, so I got an award for it. I loved it. We would go to the theater and then write scathing things about it.
But that's not something that you wanted to do for a living.
No, I just got the degree in
You wanted to get your BFA.
BA.
BA.
I wanted a degree.
I feel that's not fine arts.
A Bachelor of Arts is different than a Bachelor.
I am a
Bachelor
college
of Fine
dropout.
Arts.
I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. Well, if you majored in dance or something, or acting.
But theater criticism is not, and you were not getting an acting. I'm gonna see. This is already off to. I'm not good at this.
BFA.
This is no one cares. You either have one or you don't.
Just let
No, I don't think-
let me tell you.
Okay, good,
BFA means fine arts, which means some sort of performance
Got
art.
it.
They don't offer that at a lot of schools, so they only had a BA, which
Right.
could be theater history or theater criticism or anything.
Got it.
I don't know what else. Literature, I guess. Maybe history is included in that.
So then, when you got your degree, then you moved to LA, or you stayed in New York for a while?
I moved to LA.
And did you immediately start doing stand-up?
No. I think when I met you, I wasn't a stand-up. Because remember I met you when I first moved
Yeah.
here?
Oh, that was when you first moved here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was dating a friend of yours, and you
Correct.
took my pictures for that nudie magazine.
Yeah, but nothing's showing, and you're still the editor's favorite.
No.
Oh yeah.
I wish I had those pictures. You're
I have
a
them.
photographer.
I have your pictures. I have your nudie pinup pictures, except nothing's showing. It was pinup, this must have been 2001, 2002? No, I've been in that house since 2000. I shot Natasha for
That's when I
pinup
moved
magazine.
here.
Oh, okay, great. So it was that long ago. But nothing, it's not it was Camera Club 50s, flowers are in front of her nipples, and it's not porno at all. And she's beautiful and adorable and sexy, and you're his favorite set of photos that I took. And I shot for 5 years for that magazine.
That might have been one of the first things I ever did. I mean, I didn't get paid, of course, but I think I was still cocktail waitressing when I did that.
Where? Here in LA?
At the whiskey bar.
Well, how was that? Not Whiskey A Go-Go, Whiskey Bar.
It's connected to the Sunset Marquee. Well, I waitressed at the one in New York, so then I just transferred to the one here.
So now when did you start doing stand-up? Because you just went to an open mic, you just decided you'd try and do it how did it start?
No, I took this class.
Really?
This guy, Adam Barnhart. Well, basically, I saw this girl I knew in New York doing stand-up at the Comedy Store, and I was like, wait, I know her. She's just standing up and talking about things. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay.
So then I was like, I could do that. And then she told me, yeah, I took this class, and at the end of the class, you have to go on stage. And it makes you go on stage. And I was like, oh, okay. So I took the class. It wasn't long. It was 5 sessions or something.
Right.
And then at the end, we did this performance at the Comedy Store, and it just went really well, so I just kept doing it.
So I read somewhere that, okay, I'm not even, I don't know.
No,
See,
tell me.
I'm learning ahead. That, what I saw last night, I saw the movie Why We Laugh, the It's the greatest. It's the documentary.
Am I
Why
in it?
We Laugh Female Women, Funny Women.
Is that the one with Lily Tomlin?
Yeah, with everybody. It's you and Kathy Griffin and Joan Rivers, and it's every female stand-up and a lot of comedic actresses, which is different. There's a difference to me between being a stand-up and doing someone else's material comedically.
Right, but when I'm an actress, I'm doing the same thing you're doing.
Right, but I can't do stand-up, or I haven't, or I'm too afraid of. I would like to try after having seen this movie. But in this documentary, you guys should see it. It's so good. I do want to try it, which means I'll fail, and that frightens me, but I need to do it. I'm failing right now, and I'm surviving it. It's amazing. So in that documentary, several of the female stand-ups talk about how you can't teach funny, which I agree with. But you started by taking a class. The
class was more
your
just an opportunity. The class was just like stand up on stage and just talk. So like the exercise would be each person would get on stage and just practice talk. It's like you just kind of get used to talking.
Well, that's good. So it is. It's
it wasn't like say this joke. It
wasn't like setting up.
It was just sort of a confidence booster.
Okay. And then you did your first set at the Comedy Store. And you enjoyed it, and you got a response.
I mean, I would say it's the best show I've ever had.
That first show? That's not good for you.
Well, I think it was like I felt the best because I couldn't believe people were laughing. Like I wasn't expecting it. So when I got up on stage and people would like laugh, because we had only done it for a crowd of 2 people in the class. You know what I mean?
Right. So then when you got up in front of strangers in an audience,
packed house, and they laughed, I was like,
this is great.
And I had locked myself up I remember this too, I locked myself in my apartment like 4 days before I had to go on stage because I was so nervous. And I had this boyfriend at the time who was like on food stamps and like always bothering me, and like I was like, you can't come over. No one can come over. I'm gonna write this material. And like I remember he like came to my window and like was like leaving me things on my tree outside my house. Like he was like but I was like very strict about like I just didn't want anyone to talk to me. And then because I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this. So I locked myself in my room and I just like wrote and thought of topics and then wrote the material.
So this hadn't been a class where you were testing out jokes.
No, it was just like, I mean, I think the teacher like was, sometimes he would cancel. Like it wasn't like, it wasn't like, Judy, what's that woman? Judy.
Oh, I don't know.
She teaches like.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. She has like the comedy Bible. It wasn't
Judy,
like.
No, not Judy
It wasn't
Gold.
that kind of class.
Right, okay. But so then, how long are you doing stand-up?
So I did this great performance, and also my hairdresser had given me like I think like a Valium. Is that what
a Valium?
Something. And I took half of it because I was so nervous. So I took half of it, and then also I had a glass of wine, and I had never done that combination before. And then as people were laughing, it was like. Like it felt like a wave. Like the laughter was like this visceral, like almost out of body experience. Maybe it was the drugs. I don't know.
So then did you feel like you had to take, I'm guessing you continued doing stand-up, didn't have as good a response as that first
here's
night.
what happened. So I was like, oh my God, I'm a stand-up, And then like the next show, I was like, okay, so my next show, I scheduled it. It was like an open mic at a bar, and I was like, okay, afterwards I'm gonna say, I'll be at the Comedy Store on October 13th. Thank you, good night. Like I had this big ending planned, and like I just went on stage and bombed.
So then why did you get up and do it again?
Well, that was what happened. I bombed, and I was like, oh, that was different than the last one. And, I was like talking about how it stunk in there, and I didn't have any experience, and like people at the bar got offended, and, it was just like a bad and my material they weren't responding to it. And then I just went home, and like, I remember just kind of laying on my bed and thinking like, oh, this is gonna like take a long time, but I'm gonna do it, Like I felt the feeling like, oh, this isn't going to be that easy, but
I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like most people would stop.
Well,
After
maybe
the second
that's
time
the
they would
difference.
just say, I'm not So there must have been something that just that's such a smart reaction to go, oh, okay, this is going to take some time.
I remember feeling that, yeah, but I remember feeling like it's a go. Like I remember feeling like I'll keep trying.
What made you feel that, do you think?
Probably like not having enough love from from my parents.
The damage. The crime.
Yeah,
pile.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I didn't have another option. So I was like, okay, well this option, if it felt that good once, probably you could get it again.
So then what was your first break? Like what you would consider to be your first big break?
By the way, if I would have gotten an audition and gotten on a TV show, I probably would have, it's not like I was like, oh my God, I have to do stand-up or I'll die. It was like, oh, this could be fun and this could be like, and then I started going to auditions and noticing that the comedians were like so much cooler than the actors. I was like, oh my God, I only want to hang out with these people. Because like the actors would all be like, oh, did you audition for that? Oh yeah, no, the casting director gave me adjustments. Oh, you got adjustments? I didn't get adjustments. Oh yeah. Do you guys know what it means to be on a veil? Like everyone was just like always like trying so hard to like impress everybody else, whereas like the comedians were just funny. And fun and cool, and I don't know. Oh, but my first break was probably, I hosted that show. It was like a reality show called The 70s House.
Tell me about it. I don't think I saw it.
It was really
Did you like
funny,
it?
Actually. It was the people who did that Andy Dick reality show. Did you ever see that reality show where he was like looking for his assistant?
No.
It's called The Assistant.
No.
It was really funny. But anyway,
so you hosted?
Tortured people. Well, this was a reality show that was like, took kids literally from like Beverly Hills and made them live without technology. Like it was the 70s. This was like 15 years ago.
Okay.
And then I played Dawn, the host, like from the 70s. So I was always like roller skating and telling them to shut up. And then that paid me enough money to like not have to waitress.
So then what do you remember what your job was after that? Did you have to return to waitressing after being the 70s hostess?
No, that's when I got to stop.
So you had saved enough money from that job that you were now able to?
I was able
or people
to,
just started hiring you?
Well, also my rent was $600, and I had a very, my life, it didn't cost that much money to live, so I was able to live from job to job.
But you said your hairdresser gave you a Valium the first time you did stand-up when you were waitressing. So you had a hairdresser while you were waitressing?
A hairdresser? Of course.
What?
You're saying you can only make a certain amount of money a year to have a hairdresser?
Yeah, I thought so.
I mean, well,
That's a fancy waitress. You were having your hair set before you went?
I was having it set. Well, actually, okay, he was an old friend.
Okay,
he's someone who I grew up with.
So you didn't have like a touring entourage?
I mean, everyone has it. People have hairdressers. Girls need to get their hair done. Most waitresses I know have hairdressers.
I guess I never did. I don't now.
You don't have a hairdresser?
No, I had to get here early, and the nice young lady here curled my hair up a little bit.
I'm not talking about a live-in hairdresser.
Yeah, I think you're misunderstanding. I think she just means somebody that she goes to regularly that cuts your hair.
Yeah.
Correct? She doesn't mean like a makeup artist or stylist.
Paget has been successful for so long. She's like, wait, your hair and makeup? You had hair and makeup people? I only thought. No, I like a place I would have to trek to Beverly Hills and give them 2 weeks, or a 1 week wage.
That's what I understood.
Oh, I thought you had someone traveling with you at your first open mic night, and I thought you came in like a gangster.
No.
Okay. Now what? What happens next? Help me! I don't know. What happens after that? So now
then I got on the late show to do stand-up. So then I was able to, like after 3 years of doing stand-up. So then I did a performance of stand-up.
And it went well.
Yeah.
Now, when this was still there aren't a lot of female comics going on late night at this point. Still.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, comedy wasn't that big then. I'm like, I think a lot of people now are doing it because it seems like an obvious thing to like get attention and to, like a stepping stone because it's so popular, but it really wasn't that popular then, I don't think.
And were you in those
Like I didn't
3
even know
years
any comedians. I didn't know who anybody was.
when you started?
No.
But within those 3 years that you were
of
honing your
course.
craft,
Yeah.
you got to know everybody.
Yeah, but like if I would have seen like Sarah Silverman or Tig or Maria Bamford like before I started, I would have never done it.
Because you would have been
I would have just been intimidated.
interesting.
But because I was like, oh, this is just something this girl I knew did, and you can just like complain about how stupid everyone in LA is and you know, just talk about whatever is on your mind. Like I always thought it was like you had to be like an old man in a suit, like Rodney Dangerfield, like
Right.
talking about your wife or something.
So did you tour at any point during those 3 years? Or were you just doing shows in LA?
I was kind of trying to get past at the Comedy Store. And like just in LA. I mean, no one really I think maybe Tig started taking me on the road to open for her, and some other people I was kind of opening. And then I think maybe 5 years in I got to headline, and then I would start touring.
It seems like a pretty easy, there had to have been something difficult happening during this time.
Oh, my trajectory seems like
It just
wasn't
seems
that
like,
hard.
oh, I don't know. You just stand on stage and but you're really gifted at it. You're one of, there aren't that many female stand-ups that tour and do it extremely well and have also broken into acting. And I just feel like it's hard to be a female stand-up. I think because it does still feel a little bit like a boys' club to me.
It's harder now for me because the lifestyle of touring doesn't really appeal to me.
I don't know if it appeals to anybody. The male comics I know
I know
hate
who
it
it
too.
I know
They
who it
hate
appeals to.
Who?
Men with wives who have small children.
Oh, so they're out of the
Because
house.
they're like, I gotta go to Denver for 4 days.
It's
Peace.
it can't be fun.
It's fun for them if they're staying in a nice hotel and they're like hanging out with their friends or waitress. I don't know what they do.
So did you make a transition
Not taking care of children.
into acting because it's an easier life, a better life? Do you enjoy it more?
I mean, I think it's all an outlet for creativity. You know, you just have to kind of follow wherever things are taking you. Like creating a show is fun, doing stand-up is fun, taking tap dancing classes.
You are right now?
I was. But, you know, I think you just have to like whatever is you know, if you're in a movie or if someone asks you to do a play, you probably do that, right?
I don't know. Depends.
You've done plays before.
Not in 8, 9 years, maybe 10.
Really?
Doesn't pay. Also, LA is not very good for theater. Don't you think? Have you done plays?
No.
It's hard. LA is hard for it. It's a difficult place because people book jobs and they leave, and so it's hard to develop theater companies in LA, I think. But I think I might be a jerk. I really like money, so I haven't committed to.
But you have enough money.
I'm still afraid that my business manager's ripping it all off. That
You're afraid
it
that.
frightens me.
Are you like Jay
and I don't
Leno, where
spend
you
it. I don't spend
your
it.
money?
I save it. I hoard it. I'm hoarding it.
Really?
Yeah, because acting's going to dry up, and I don't generate my own material, which is part of why I feel like I should try an open mic and fail, at least to have tried it and face my fear. You know what I mean?
What if you kill?
I don't think I would. I don't think you can. That's the thing. I mean, you did the first time you went out, and then you bombed the next time, and then you had the tenacity and the balls to say, okay, I'm gonna have to get better at this, and I'm gonna learn how to do it. I think that's extraordinary. And then you've done so well.
Well, I think I had a lot of good influences.
Such as?
Just hanging out with other comedians who were who had a lot of integrity about the art and really took it seriously and took the idea of working hard seriously, and you know how important it is to go up every night. Like I used to have this book, and I would like tick off like how many nights. Like I'd be like, I have to go up 4 nights a week at the very least. So I would like keep a diary, a calendar. And I would total them up. I did that for like 2 years. I'd like total them up at the end of the year. By the way, I'm not like that at all anymore.
Really?
No, I mean, I was just very focused on how much, maybe that 10,000 hours thing, like how much work it was going to take.
That book hadn't even come out. By
No,
that
I know,
time.
but
I'm so impressed
instinctually.
that you. But I think I find that really unusual.
Really?
Yeah, really. I feel like most people in your position would have given up after bombing the second time, and would not have had the strength of character to say, I'm gonna bomb a few more times. I have to learn how to do this and do it 4 times a week. I'm gonna get better at this. I think that's remarkable.
This comedian from the Comedy Store had this thing on his wall that said, "You're not good until you bomb 100 times." Bobby Lee, and he had like a calendar, and he was like, he still had like 80 more times to bomb, but you know, he was ticking them off.
Wow.
You know, and so I think that, especially at the Comedy Store, a lot of people just kind of had that mentality, like they took it very seriously. And I think maybe as a woman, sometimes you're not taken seriously, so you kind of have to overcompensate. So maybe that's why I was so diligent about making sure I was putting the time in, you know.
No, you did it. And I read in one of the interviews that the producer sent me for this show that you did 11 pilots, at least by 2013. I couldn't get any more information.
That didn't get picked up?
How many pilots? Was that 11 that didn't go? You were cast in pilots for TV shows.
I'm sure at least that. I should find out the number though.
and you wrote some of them?
I don't know. Maybe.
Have you pitched shows before another period?
Yeah.
How many shows do you think you've pitched?
4, but nothing that like even made it to pilot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like things that you just pitch and they say no thank you.
Okay, so these aren't like spec scripts that you wrote that you took out and tried to like get a bidding war and.
No, I mean I tried, but no, it didn't work.
So how did you and Ricky Lindholm pitch and sell another period?
It took us like 4 years.
Do tell. I remember. I was around for some of it.
Well, we got the idea,
right.
And then we realized that it would be very hard to pitch in a room. And also, since my bad luck of pitching things and having people not buy them, I was like, maybe we both decided to make a pilot, spend our own money on a pilot so we could show them what it would look like. So we shot, we each took $15,000 of our own money.
What?
That's not I mean.
I know, but I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, and
that's so ballsy.
Really?
I'd be scared.
That you wouldn't get the money back?
Yeah, that it would be gone. That it would just, nobody would buy it, that money would be gone. I would be so scared. I can't believe you did it.
Well, so we did that.
Yeah.
And then...
and shot the presentation.
With Jeremy Connor.
Yes. Who is still the director of all of the episodes.
And he really helped with the vision. And then we sold it.
Again, besides risking your own money and it taking 4 years, still pretty good, straight shot, right? Did anything bad happen?
Oh, I mean, it took them a very long time to pick it up. Like, we had to keep, like, thinking of ways to explain to them how, there's enough ideas and that it's definitely can go on for, no one wants to pick anything up. Or everyone's looking for a reason to say no.
I guess you're right.
Aren't they?
I guess
so. Easy. You don't want to lose $15,000. People don't want to lose $15 million, How much does it cost to, like, put a TV show together?
Mm-hmm. But now another period has been picked up for next year for season 3. Right now, season 2 is airing.
Oh, but when we wrote we wrote the pitch or the sizzle thing we sold for you, but you couldn't do it. Why couldn't you do it?
I was on another show.
So we had Michaela Watkins.
Right.
But then...
Who was great.
Who was awesome, and then she was on a show, so then we asked you, who was our original idea, and then you were able to do it.
Which I was extremely thankful for.
But we have to put you in old lady makeup.
It's really just not makeup. She draws a little bit of line right here.
I know, but it makes a difference.
I love it. It's my favorite job. It is so enjoyable. And the only thing that I feel like I partially, The Secret manifested, where I had left Criminal Minds and being an FBI agent for years and years, and then thought, okay, what do I want to do? I'm supposed to like put it out there in the universe, what I want to do. And I hadn't been able to do another period, the sizzle reel that you had shot a year before or 2 years before. And I was like, hope, put out into the universe that I want to do a period piece, but I want it to be funny, and I want to be a bitch. And that's what I want.
You said you wanted to do that?
I would like, kind of pray
That's so
about
cool.
it and pretend to be meditating, but be thinking, oh, I really want to do that. And then you guys called and asked me to do a table read of another period when it had been picked up to series, and Michaela couldn't be there, and I was filling in for her. And part of me was like, oh, now I'm just Michaela's stand-in for a table read. And I was so hurt and bummed out. And then I thought, oh, they're friends. Like, I like you and Ricky. I'm not gonna, what am my ego? I'm gonna be bummed out. So I went and did the table read, and then Michaela couldn't do it because she was doing Trophy Wife.
Oh, right.
And because I'd done the table read, they were like, okay, her.
Well, we always wanted you, but...
I'm gonna cough uncontrollably for a few minutes.
But Paget, when I first moved here, you were like the first successful person I ever met.
It's
like
only
you
because I had a garage.
No, you had me over at your house, and you like, you were very generous.
I shot you naked.
You shot me naked.
Probably a terrible person. I'm the worst person you met in LA.
But you lent me books. You lent me.
I did, yeah, because you said you were interested in acting.
And you were just so. I would never be that nice to someone who just moved here.
That's not true. You
sat down and talked to me about Hollywood, and you explained to me. It actually really influenced me.
Really?
Yeah, because you were like, people who are Julia Roberts level famous, they choose to be that famous. They choose to like have the paparazzi after them, and you don't have to choose that.
Yeah. Would you?
You haven't chosen that.
No, would you though? Do you sometimes feel like, oh, I wish the paparazzi followed me. I want a yacht.
I do want a yacht.
Yeah.
Yachting is nice.
Well, you might have to work really hard. It's a lot of work. You would have to really work.
And then when do you have time to yacht?
Every day is a wardrobe fitting and an interview and
yeah.
See, do you want that? You can have that.
I feel like I have that now without the fame.
Yeah.
Just because I have to do a lot of press for our show.
That's true. You are.
So like every day there's something to do, but instead of, I'm on K-Rock or whatever. Got a K-Rock interview, or I don't know. Just
do you have a K-Rock interview later today?
No. But today would have been a great day to go yachting, and I'm here.
But you don't have a yacht yet.
I could find one.
You can now rent one.
Can you really?
Like an Uber yacht, right?
Really?
No, I'm asking you, do you rent yachts?
I don't know. I've only been on one once, and it was the best day of my life. It was in Thailand, and I was like piggybacking on some like rich people's experience. Like I was in this film festival doing the stand-up in Thailand, and it was like this rich guy in Thailand, but it was this teakwood yacht. And the day, it was like overcast and it was calm, and we sailed from like one island to the next island, and we stopped at this like little monkey island and got out and swam to the monkeys and fed them, and then there was like spicy Thai food, like there was like a 10-person kitchen staff making like hors d'oeuvres and bringing it up, and it was just
to this wealthy man in Thailand.
No,
sounds
to
like
all
a
of us.
date.
Oh, and then there was like 15 people on the yacht, and then there was like they were all doing karaoke, like just it was just a nice light. That's what they did on Sunday.
God.
It's like I want to do this.
I know sometimes it does look nice to be that rich, but I don't know. I don't think it's worth how much work you have to do.
So you think to really be like balling like that, you got to work all the time?
Yes, and I think you also like that level of fame. I'm sure you could do something illegal and make a lot of money and have a yacht, but if you're
or you can have a rich family.
Right. Well, we're both past that now. We didn't get that. I'm saying
we could marry into money.
No, we're both married already.
We could get divorced.
We already blew it. I lose everything then, and I'm too lazy.
How do you lose everything?
We didn't do a prenup.
You think he's gonna get half your money?
That's the state of California. It's the law.
What? Why'd you do that?
Because I don't think we're ever gonna get divorced. I think we're too lazy to ever fill out the paperwork.
Okay. I mean, my husband...
besides being in love with him, I think we're too lazy to ever go through with the hassle of a divorce. We got a
Okay.
good thing. What about
So-
you guys? Did you and Moshe? Natasha's
We have the same
married
amount
to
of money,
Moshe.
though.
What?
We have the same amount of money.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah.
But only
I
because-
hoarded money for so long.
Well,
and my husband's younger. You
Well-
can't expect him to.
Also, I probably I just spend like quadruple what he spends.
So you're living this way.
Oh,
You're
no.
living like Jennifer Aniston.
No, I'm not.
Without her income.
No, I'm not.
Who would you say you're living like? In
Why do you
pop
think
culture?
that? Why do
Because
you?
I think you're fancy.
I don't go on a yacht. I've been once, I said.
That's true. All right, but
It's not like I'm taking.
You still. I feel like you live pretty. You're a glamorous lady.
I mean, I took Uber X here.
Uber X. See, Ricky Lindholm made fun of me.
You won't take that?
No, I'd only take Uber X, and I think she wants the better one. And when we've split, when we've like,
That's too
we're in
expensive.
San Francisco at Sketchfest, and we're gonna get back. I got the fancy one for Ricky.
She
I'm afraid she'll
feels.
shame me for getting an Uber X. So I'm impressed. You're not living outside of your means. I'm
But
proud of you.
I did spend $30 to get here as opposed to driving myself.
Well, I mean, I would say having driven here myself, that was worth it. Because it was
Right, because I was like, I could just do emails and read stuff.
yeah. Are you gonna get a van?
What is that?
You know
What do
when you
mean?
get like, Kevin Hart now has a bus.
So when
He has a driver, and then he converted the bus into, there's like a TV screen and sofas, and he can do meetings and answer emails, and it's a Wi-Fi
I was
hotspot.
just thinking that today because I was sitting in my tea tent and I was like, oh, what if the tent could be like portable
mobile tea tent.
and they could just I could just stay in my tent and then they could take me to,
So you
to
would.
here.
Yeah, the mobile.
Well, I think that's the future. Basically, when they have the self-driving cars.
I don't think that's going to happen. Not after that guy died.
That's only one accident. Do you know how many accidents there are from non-self-driving
Okay,
cars?
that's a good point.
Kevin
Carry on.
has one of those Teslas that self-drives.
He does?
Yes.
Well, I'm not saying to do it now. All the kinks haven't been worked out.
Yeah.
But I'm talking
it,
like...
it only works like on freeways.
Yeah,
and-
like in
and
5
it
to
scares
10
me to
years,
death.
once they convert everything to that, I don't think that one accident. Do you think that one accident will deter them?
And then apparently he was just telling me that Elon Musk said that they did research and he was like the car wasn't self-driving at the time or something.
Oh, so the accident wasn't even in that mode.
No, it wasn't in that mode.
Also, the driver
that's a
was
bad rap.
watching Lord of the Rings on his phone.
Oh, well, especially if it wasn't self-driving. If he was watching anything on his phone.
You can't watch. Oh, he could on his phone, but on the screen that's on the Tesla,
Right.
you can't stream video.
No.
Are you kidding? You
Yeah.
can't stream video in your tent.
Wow. For safety reasons.
Hey, wait, let me get back to you. I'm so sorry, Jamie, before. You were talking about the two things that were right about where Kevin Pollak is shooting the movie Saints of Ypsilanti
Yes.
right now
Three
in
Saints of Ypsilanti. Yes.
New York
Yes.
with Richard Gere.
Richard Gere is the lead, and then the three saints are Peter Dinklage, Walter Goggins,
Uh-huh.
and Bradley Whitford.
Ah.
So they couldn't get anybody.
And what's Kevin?
Richard Gere is the main doctor, and then Kevin is the doctor of the psych ward that the other three actors are in.
I like Dinklage so much.
Yeah, he's cool. I don't watch Game of Thrones though.
You don't?
I don't either.
No.
Really?
There's like a handful of us, and here's two of them right here.
What do you watch?
I like comedy and I like character-driven, like kind of alternative indie drama.
You need to name some
And-
shows. I don't know what you mean.
I mean, the shows I like right now, I like Transparent.
Okay.
I like Difficult People.
Yes.
My favorite show is probably Eastbound and Down. I like, funny things.
What shows do you like? Not Game of Thrones.
Mr. Robot just started back up, and I
love
really
it.
like that show.
It's great.
That was good, and then I was like, oh, it's a little too cheesy for me, like 6 in.
Oh no, I love it.
But I still watch like Simpsons reruns, like whatever. I don't know. I'm just
Aw.
That's impressive to me. I started watching Top Chef from the beginning,
You watch a lot
like
of television.
season 2004.
I could tell.
I
you
watched-
probably watch everything.
But not great. Only on hiatus.
You
when
watch,
I'm not working and
you
I have
watch
time,
like
I have
one
the
of
TV on all
everything,
day.
though, don't
I
you?
try. Now I like Stranger. What's it called? The Winona Ryder. It's the new show.
Moshe's watching
Duffer
that.
Brothers. What's it called? Stranger Things.
You like it?
Yeah, I think it's really good. And Wayward Pines.
That's good.
I love it.
So you like dramas?
I do. I like dramas. I don't ever watch sitcoms, but I would love to make one. I'm Transparent I watch, Mr. Robot I watch, Another Period I love. Let's talk about that, about daily what that's like. Because Another Period, what people may or may not know, is that Natasha and Ricky write 10 episodes, 11?
With a writing staff.
Then all of those episodes are shot at the same time. So on one day, you'd be shooting scenes from episode 6, scenes from episode 1, scenes from episode 4, and at the end, all
that
directed by Jeremy Connor,
Yes.
all written by and starring you and Ricky.
Yes.
So you know that's unusual, right?
To what?
To shoot like that.
Oh, like block shooting?
Yes.
Well, it's not unusual in a low budget show.
Have you ever
Pat
done
is
that
like,
before?
I've only worked for networks where you. I mean, I've definitely, when I did It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that's how they shot.
It is?
I think that's how a lot, they actually did that with seasons, because they would get picked up 2 seasons at a time. So they would be like, we're doing any scene that takes place in Charlie's bedroom in the next 2 years is going to be shot on this day.
You gotta be kidding me.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly how they do it,
So
but that
you have
was.
seen that before. I've never seen it. You're right. I'm
Really?
spoiled. I'm spoiled. I was only on network. I'd never seen a show shot like that. And I love it.
You
But
love it?
Seems, I do.
Why?
But it seems very difficult. It just seems very taxing
It is.
on you and Ricky and Jeremy.
And everybody, and the
The
crew,
crew.
and the the wardrobe girl, and having to like do all the changes, and the set, and it's hard for everybody because the show looks like it's like an HBO
It's
show
beautiful.
with a high budget, and it's not.
Yeah. What, explain, in case there are people who haven't seen it, which shame on you.
Another period.
Yeah. Explain what the concept is. What the
So the
idea is.
concept is that it takes place in the Gilded Age in America. So, Downton Abbey is obviously that same time period when it started in England, but this is the American version in Newport, and it's kind of like if the Kardashians moved to Downton, because we are all trying to get famous, but it's hard because it's 1902. So we're like these socialites, and you play our mother, and a lot of the inspiration is just drawn from history, because Newport, Rhode Island, and that turn of the century, the rich people, they were such a small ruling class, but it was before capitalism, it was before the income tax, so people were like living like rappers, kings and queens, and they were kind of thinking that's what was going to happen in America. We're just going to have like we're going to be kings and queens, but then they were all fur trappers and, kind of a lower class of people who got super rich. And I think in 1902, 90% of the wealth in all of our country was in Newport. So these people were just the 1%.
And you and Ricky did a tour of the houses there?
Uh-huh. Have you been?
No, I have not.
It's so cool.
I want to go after you and Ricky told me about it. It just
I
sounds
can't believe
incredible.
they're still there. They just never tore them down.
They're museums now because
The
once
Historical
income tax-
Society. Oh yeah, once income tax was introduced in like 1910, I'm not exactly sure when, maybe 1913, people couldn't afford to live like that anymore.
Because they had to pay taxes.
Right, like Carnegie had more money than America. Like these people were just like billionaires 100 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and also people in America stopped wanting to be servants.
Sure. I don't blame them. Did they want a raise? Did they want, honestly,
They just, because, people were indentured servants, like in the 1800s.
Right.
They would
I
come
see.
here
Well,
from
then that's-
Europe. The slaves came too, but they would come here from Europe, and in exchange for
boarding.
Yeah, they would get but they would still kind of put them in jails, and because they were afraid they were going to escape. And then after 7 years, they would apparently get a little plot of land and something. But they never really became the ruling class from that, obviously.
they couldn't work their way up, of course.
Right. So I think there was like a generation of servants, maybe. I don't know exactly.
And then they all said, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, because they weren't allowed to date. They weren't allowed to they had almost no time off,
So it's slavery. I'm going to use that as a segue into an advertisement I have to read. Actually, I do deeply believe in this product. This is for Blue Apron. You guys have heard of this, right?
Do you do this? Because you're a cook.
I don't, because I like to fail, so I don't do Blue Apron.
No, but you're a good
I make up recipes on my own at home and watch terrible TV in the background. I don't know why I gestured to you. You're only on great TV. Okay, guys. So Blue Apron. Not all ingredients are created equal. Fresh, high-quality ingredients taste better. This is true, and are better for you. So it's important to know where your food comes from. My personal experience with Blue Apron, I should be doing it. It said for me to talk about it, I should be doing it, but instead I buy a lot of items. Instead of getting like 2 vanilla beans, which is what Blue Apron will send you, exactly 2 vanilla beans, I end up with a bushel. Waste. For less than $10 per meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-portioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. Blue Apron knows that when you cook with incredible ingredients, you make incredible meals, so they set the highest quality standards for their community of artisanal suppliers, family-run farms, fisheries, and ranchers. Whether it's Japanese ramen noodles, I've not been able to make that yet, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, or heirloom tomatoes, Blue Apron is bringing you the best. Now, these are the meals that are available in July, and I'll tell you, I've had the turkey meatballs, and they're outstanding. And also, Blue Apron sent my friend the recipe for squash noodles, and so now I try that at home. Spinach and basil pesto gnocchi with summer squash, green beans, and fresh mozzarella. Who doesn't like that?
Wait, you're saying I can, if I get that box, I can make that?
Yes. They send you everything that you need and the recipe, and it comes out perfect because they've already tested it in a kitchen, and it's healthy and it's cheaper than if you went and got. I know I should be doing it. I don't know. Maybe I will.
No, you have talent in the kitchen.
I'm just trying to learn. Guys, meals available in July. Natasha's trying to knock me off. Spiced pork tacos with avocado, pickled onion, and elote style corn. Is that how you pronounce that? Elote? Elote. It looks fancy. Summer vegetable pizza with garlic, lemon, broccolini. Guys, check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/CHAT in capital letters. I don't know if it's case sensitive. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. Guys, you won't regret it. It's true, because my girlfriends who do it, they love it. And I feel bad that I'm not as good as Blue Apron, but I'm trying to get there on my own. That's blueapron.com/CHAT. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. New recipes are created each week by Blue Apron's culinary team and are not repeated within a year. So guys, 3 meals, the first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to the blueapron.com/chat. I should do it.
Do you think it's okay to be married and not cook for your husband?
Absolutely. I think it's okay to be married and do anything that you two agreed on.
Right. It's not like I was cooking before and then we got married.
Did you feel like when you got married, now I'm supposed to learn how to cook?
No, honestly, I was just talking to a friend last night and she was like, "You don't cook." She's Israeli, but she's like, "You don't cook anything for him? Nothing?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Oh, that's not good."
I think that's more part of the Israeli culture, though.
Maybe. I'll like put some cereal together sometimes.
Does Moshe cook?
He's a really good cook.
Well, so then he's got that taken care of.
But we just go out to dinner all the time.
See, you live large, you're fancy.
It's not that I'm fancy, I just usually get done in the writer's room at 7 and then
And then
what, I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's and then
did you
start
ever wanna
cooking
cook?
and get back by 9 and it just, there's not really time.
No. See, I batch cook.
Do you not have
when
a fancy,
I'm not working.
Do you not have a fancy lifestyle, Paget?
I don't think so.
You think your lifestyle is less fancy than mine?
Yes. I think you're fancier, but I also think you work harder.
But you make way more money.
No, I have in the past you know what I make playing your mom. That's not TV money, and it's my favorite job. I love it. But I had to make that money on CBS so that I could leave and then do things that I really wanted to do that don't pay that much. And I've hoarded all the money so that I can make that choice. Because I want to be on season 3 of Another Period. I want to be in every single episode. And I sent you a menacing email the other day when I was trying to make ramen, which I bet Blue Apron makes better than I do.
That was
and
a
I
fail?
was drinking.
You were
Yeah,
drinking.
I can't make ramen broth.
Really?
It's so hard. You have to broil bones in the oven for hours, and then you put water on them, and there's ginger and bay leaves. And
You're trying to do like a bone broth or
bone
something.
broth, like from nothing. It's not easy.
You what do you have against a bouillon cube?
No, too salty, and there's no depth of flavor. So I watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay. Now I just started watching Kitchen Nightmares from the beginning again. The show's been off the air for 6 years.
I don't understand. Like,
I'm watching shows from '99.
so you're cooking you're cooking ramen, and then in the background there's a show where they're
TV's on.
cooking something else.
Yeah.
That's not confusing.
No, I enjoy it. It's meditative. I like it. It's a hobby that makes me feel happy.
How many
do you
hours-
have a hobby?
I need to get one.
What, you need to get one?
Wait, do you do this every day?
When I'm not working. If I'm working, no. Then
I see.
no.
Do I have a
Because those
hobby?
days can be long. Like if I was working the hours that you worked on another period, I wouldn't be cooking. Well, when would I cook? You were there 14, 15 hours a day. Every day.
Right.
That's what, being on a...
Yeah, I
on
want
a-
to do your job.
I know. I love it. But people like me can't have our jobs if you're not creating content, which is why I'm so appreciative and impressed. Because that's sort of the only way out of this whole, this studies come out, I think from the Gina Davis Women's Institute about some algorithm's been figured out that looks at scripts and can decipher how many lines are spoken by women and how many female crew members are in, that just, we're still in like a boys club industry. Women aren't
Don't you
paid
feel
as
like
much. women
every
aren't.
movie this summer is women? Every week there's like every weekend seems like there's another movie that's women. No?
As far as I know right now, it's just Ghostbusters. What else is coming
And
out?
then
that's
that
such a
Bad
big-
Moms I just saw, and then
yeah,
Mike
Pitch
and Dave
Perfect.
Need Wedding
Is there
Dates is
another
all
pic-
about the women the bad women. I don't know. It feels like there's a lot.
But I think that it changes.
Maybe it's
being made.
changing.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is I think one of the reasons why it's changing is women creating content, which is what you and Ricky did with Another Period. What do you think about that? What would
I'm
you
glad
like
to be a part of anything. I mean, I think it's cool to get to think of things and get money to make them. And
What would you, if you could get another show on the air, what would it be? Do you have other? No, you can't really talk about it because then someone might rip you off, right?
oh, I don't know. I don't really have an idea, so I don't know. Something. I think I would like to play. Just someone like very flawed and bad and evil in general. That's kind of what I'm drawn to.
You are a little bit in Another Period. You're kind of and she's a nasty little.
Yeah, those parts are just the most fun, where you're just like a terrible person.
And so, what do you do the rest of the year? Once you write all the Another Periods, then we shoot them over the course of 5 weeks.
Yeah,
pretty
maybe
fast.
6 weeks, and
And
then
then
we
you're
edit for
editing.
like 3 or 4 months, and then there's like, I guess you have 5 months off or something, but not really off because you're doing press and.
Right. What are you going to do in those 5 months?
Actually, I don't think it's 5 months off. It doesn't. It never ends up being that. Because we were writing it this time last year, and I'm still working on the show, so I feel like I haven't really
Right.
had any time off.
What would you do if you had time off?
I would sit in my tea tent and read.
Mm-hmm.
I like history. It's kind
Do
of
you?
nice. I like getting inspired for the show. That's nice because then I would go to Newport and walk through some of the houses I haven't been in yet because there's so many. And
How many are left?
well, people live in some of them, but some of them that haven't been demolished. I don't know, like maybe 15.
15 of them are left?
Well,
How many-
15 are bought by
But
the
they're
Historical
mansions.
Society.
I mean, they're like
Oh, you need to have, like,
30,000 square feet or something,
30
right?
indoor servants, 30 outdoor servants to even like maintain a property like
So
that.
who's living in those houses now?
Well, there are people who are living in them who I don't know. They're just like family money.
Is it Klaus von Bülow? That
I'm
family?
sure-
They had one, right?
I mean, I only know the ones that have been bought by the Historical Society. There's tons of private ones, and who knows? I mean, you'd have to like do some major investigating to find out who's there. I don't know. Rich people.
And you told me to read a book, and I can't remember what the name of it was, where one of the families had, the wealthy families in 1902, had tortoise shells flown in, and an entire ceiling is like massacred. The tortoises were killed, pulled out, probably soup for the servants, and these shells were turned upside down, and it's an entire
in the ballroom.
Like, I mean, bigger than
They
any
were
room you've ever been in, just for decoration.
They were very over the top. And the tortoises, on the tour they told us this, that you could only glue them like by using this glue that's made from killing some kind of rabbit. So they would kill all these rabbits to like get this glue to be able to like hang the tortoise shells. Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys discovered?
That sounds made up because of the tortoise and the hare. I don't know why. That seems to me like, it's like, well, just say it's a rabbit.
I don't know, but the tortoise shell you can see, and these ballrooms were all for 400 people. That's how, like, in their minds, that's how many people could fit into society. It was only for 400.
Oh yeah, so this is with the Newport 400. Is that even a real thing? I only know it from another period. I don't even know if that's a real thing. It was a real thing.
And they would be like, they would have their list, and it would, you know, people would come in and out of the list. And so ballrooms kind of had to be able to hold 400 people.
But no more.
No more. Yeah.
And is there anything that you found out when you guys were researching? Because you guys, again, impressively, you guys researched a lot. And a lot of the story ideas in another period are based on true things that happened.
Yes.
And behaviors towards different races and women and...
Yeah, it's almost like I feel I've heard, like, maybe there was someone named Dodo on one of the tours. I don't remember, but like, it's all sort of comes in your psyche. I know that the Commodore, there's someone named the Commodore.
Oh, in the history of Newport?
Yeah.
What was he like?
I think he was a Rockefeller. He was like the main dude. You know, the father who built the house.
Got it.
The Commodore.
And then the Dodo
who built what's the big one there? Whatever's like the main Vanderbilt house. The Breakers, it's called.
Oh yeah. I read that book. The Vanderbilt. That's the book you told me to read.
Oh, how was it?
It was good.
They're dense. But
it was dense. It was a lot, and it was also about traveling all over the world and going to. And I really just wanted to read about the Newport stuff because I was so excited.
You read a lot.
I do read a lot. Unfortunately, now I read everything on a Kindle, so I never know what I'm reading or who wrote it, because you just open it and you're on the page.
But that's
I never
better
see
than
the cover of the book.
Most people I know are listening to books.
I never listen to books.
So at least you're actually reading.
Do you read?
I'm trying to right now, like actually read instead of listening, but it's taking a lot of my energy because I'm used to listening.
Do you listen to it while you're driving around?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can listen to it while you're exercising. You can listen to it while you're walking the dogs. You can.
That's true. How are the dogs?
You can't read and do things.
Right.
But I think you absorb more from sitting down and reading something than like cleaning and listening to, you know.
I should do that though.
Classic.
Instead of watching old episodes of Real Housewives of New Jersey, I should
You do that?
actually listen. Yeah.
You've seen them all?
No. I just started on
I like them, but
season
that's
6.
That's one of those things where you can't have that on in public. Or you can't if my husband comes home and sees I'm watching that, he's like, we don't do that in this house.
Is he treating you badly?
No, I just mean
because I feel like you've brought up. Should I be cooking?
No.
And he won't let me watch my shows.
No.
Okay.
No, those aren't my shows. I mean, it's just I've turned it on before out of curiosity because everyone I know loves it. All the women I know are obsessed with this show. So I was like, what is this? And then it sucks you in, but it does feel very low.
It is low, and I'm watching Real Housewives. I watch them all.
And it seems really very much about like either a woman or a gay guy would want to watch this, but like I don't see like I don't want to come home and have him watching some sort of boring war document or I don't know what's something.
Why would you care?
Because I'm like aesthetic and I don't want it on in the background. Like I don't have a TV in my main room.
What?
I just have it in the bedroom.
In the bedroom? They say don't put it in the bedroom.
Well, I did.
Why?
Because there's nothing more depressing to me than coming into your beautiful sitting room with the fireplace and having
seeing
like
a big ugly.
and not even seeing the TV, hearing like, you know, Flavor of Love's on or whatever it is, like some like dumb VH1 reality show. Like it just kind of ruins. It's like when you walk into a restaurant and there's TV on. Don't you hate
you're
that?
Right. I do. I don't really.
I find it to be just like TV in general is like an aesthetic thing. Is just I don't like it.
I understand. I hear where you're coming from.
So
I have to remember the question I was trying to ask before that I failed to complete.
why are you so down on yourself? You're so good at this, Paget.
No, I'm
You are really good at this, and that's all anyone is saying in the chat room is how great you are at this.
Do we have any comments on my outfit in the chat room?
Do we have any comments?
Well, it was explained up top, so everyone was very accepting of it right away.
You do look like you are incognito with the glasses and the hat. You are, and I love it. No, I love it.
It's bright in here.
It's very
honest.
bright.
bright. These
I
lights
love
are very
it.
bright.
It's like a cross between Jackie O and Joaquin Phoenix.
Or Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Wait, oh dear. Oh, she's not gonna like that.
I mean, because of the hat. He used to wear those floppy hats.
It is
That's
a
all.
sun hat indoors.
That's fine. You're fine. Let me finish my question.
Okay, sorry.
Was there anything that you discovered in your research of the Gilded Age of Newport, Rhode Island, that you were not allowed to put into the show? Another period.
Not allowed to put into the show?
Was there some stuff where they said, this is too far? Because there's some gross, there's potty and sex humor.
Potty.
There's
well, there was that one thing I
racism,
wanted to
because
do.
at that time in history, women were not equal, not allowed to vote. Well, wait, did we have the vote by then? I don't know.
No.
I'm a girl.
No.
We didn't, right?
No.
Okay.
But a lot of the vote, the women's lib movement started in
The
Newport.
suffragettes.
With the rich women in Newport.
Yes.
They kind of hosted it.
Right. But were there things that you couldn't do? That Comedy Central was like, okay, now that's actually not funny. Because it's pretty, there's a lot. There are rape jokes. There was McFace.
Like racism against Irish people?
Yes. Well, there was racism. The privileged white people were racist against everybody at that time. And comedically, you're writing about it, and it's funny, and because it's so ludicrous to us now, but it was inherent back then. So I'm wondering if there were things that you discovered that were just too disturbing about human behavior at that time that you are willing to poke fun at.
That were too disturbing. I mean, there was we try not to get too racial. It was obviously, I think, we have, I'm trying to think what I want to say. Was there anything there was the one thing we wanted to do, there was topless sword fighting.
Oh, that's right.
That was something that came from that time period that the upper class women would take off their shirts to sword fight. So in case because people weren't cleaning their clothes every day. So in case they got cut through they could get gangrene or something.
They'd get an infection if they were cut through
their clothes.
So someone convinced them they should dual topless.
Yeah.
We
did not do that.
Were women refereeing those fights?
Oh, I'm sure men were.
Men were. So they said it's okay if you get cut from the waist down on the leg, you won't get gangrene. But your boobs do need to be out up top.
Well, with it's probably more of a chance of this part.
Of it happening up there.
Yeah.
Got it. I see. Okay, so that couldn't be shown. I forgot what I was going to ask you. Oh, I was going to ask you about drunk history.
Yes, you've been on it, right?
I have been on it several times, and it's hard. You were drunk.
Oh, I didn't like
narration.
that one. I did the acting in it too.
Yeah. What were the reenactments?
Did you were drunk in it?
I've been drunk 3 times for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right.
Well, when I first did it, I got there were 2 slots. They were like, you can either have us come at 8 p.m., which means you'll have to start drinking around 4 or 5.
Right.
Or 11 p.m., which you can start drinking around 8. So I was like, okay, I'll do 11. So I started drinking around 8, and then it was like, oh, it got pushed. It's going to be 12.
Oh, no.
And because they were just coming from the other shoot, so I was like, oh no. So then I got too drunk, or I don't know. I'd had like I didn't feel well. And then when I got there, Derek made me coffee. And then he's like, let's have a shot of tequila to get you drunk again. So then I had the tequila. And then he interviewed me for like 2 minutes and I was like, I'll be right back. And then I just got in the bathtub and I was wearing a bodysuit. So I like got totally naked, like got in my bodysuit, got in there. And I just remember like pouring bubbles in the bath and I'm like, are you sure you guys got it? And Jeremy just seemed worried. He's like, no. I mean, I literally only talked for 2 minutes. And then I remember it wasn't turning into bubbles. And then the next thing I knew, I woke up the next day and I was like in my bed, wet from the swimsuit, and I didn't know where anybody was.
Oh wait, you were in a swimsuit.
Yeah, and so
I had heard that you got naked.
No.
I had heard that you got naked and they were like, we wouldn't do that to her. We're not gonna air that. She was so inebriated, she got drunk. And then, but they reshot it or something?
Well, yes, and then Derek called me the next morning and I was like, did you get everything? And he was like, he was kind of like, yeah, let me call you later. Like, he wasn't really giving me a straight answer, and I was like, oh. Because, usually people are like, yeah, it was awesome. So you're like, okay, great.
And
people just tell you it was good anyway.
Right.
So then, and I was like, what about the bubbles? Wasn't that funny? Like putting all the bubbles in there? He's like, you were putting like cooking oil in there. Like, I wasn't putting bubbles in the bathtub. And he's like, yeah, it was just kind of weird. And then, the next night I had to do it again.
And how was it when you did it again? Do you remember what you said and did?
Obviously not.
What was your story? What was your, I should have watched it. I should have watched it again.
It was Patty Hearst.
Oh, right, okay.
So it was her getting kidnapped
Joining
by the
Symbionese
Liberation Army.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was, but then we did it again and it was good.
And you've done reenactments?
Yeah, I did that too.
What did you do?
You'd have to look on my IMDb, I don't remember.
Oh, wait a minute. I might have your IMDb.
Did you do reactions?
I did. I played Grover Cleveland's mother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Which was Bobby Moynihan. It made me really, really, really respect that core group of people.
Oh, they're so good. There's those, they're kind of, what would you call them, like?
They're the sketch players, I guess.
Yeah.
Craig Kikowski and Mort and Maria, Mike Coleman. They're amazing because the camera keeps moving and everyone has to mouth that sentence at the right time, and you have to have a gift for that.
They're so good.
Those guys were great.
That show's great.
And they're nominated for an Emmy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait, did we get nominated for any Emmys for another period?
I don't think so.
No.
But maybe next year.
No.
We just need you, Paget, to be.
You need me
we could
to
only
be in
write you
one.
into 2 episodes.
3. I'm in 3, right? Oh no.
But you should be in 10. You should have like a huge arc.
I know. I was shooting
We'll make you the
Grandfather
star
with
next
John
year.
Stamos, and Fox actually was nice enough to let me do 3 episodes. They could have said you could only do 1. But then we got canceled, so I was bummed out because I'm
How did
out
that
of-
show get canceled? I thought everybody loved it.
No, they canceled it. That and The Grinder too. I thought they were going to keep at least one, Rob Lowe or Stamos, and now they canceled them both.
Wow.
What have you done? What was the longest time you've done a network show? I have it in here.
I did this show called Free Agents.
Yes, with Hank Azaria
With Hank Azaria and Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn.
And Joe Latrilio.
Angela Trulio.
Oh, wow.
And Al Madrigal and Mo Mandel. So basically, I think we did like 6 episodes. And then it was like when NBC was having all this. I just remember they were like having to cancel every show. And our show was so unwatched, they didn't even announce its cancellation. They just announced, we just assumed.
Of the shows that were picked up.
Right.
They didn't say.
No, and they announced cancellations, but our show didn't even get mentioned as a cancellation. But it was fun working on it.
Where did that shoot?
In LA.
Have you shot a horror film ever?
Yes.
Where?
When I first moved here, I shot this thing called The Exorcist Chronicles, and I had to play someone who was getting exorcised. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
I think that's correct.
But I had to put like contacts in my eyes, and like I remember they put a hot water bottle full of yellow liquid like in my in my outfit. So then I would have to go up against the wall and like piss myself. And I was like strapped to a bed and like screaming.
Is this out?
I'm sure you could rent it.
Like on Netflix?
Oh, I don't think it made it to Netflix.
The Exorcist Chronicles, but your stand-up special is on Netflix, right?
Good segue.
I saw it. No, I
it's
mean
not.
it. No, live at Bimbos from Bimbos.
That's not on Netflix.
Well, how did I see it? Did I buy it? Where is it?
Maybe you have been spending time on Comedy Central Selects.
Yes. I don't know. I have the whole thing comes up. You know, the whole.
Maybe you
all
bought it
those
on
things.
iTunes?
Well, no. Now I have the thing where I have the remote where
Voice
it has a little
activation?
microphone. Yeah, and I say Natasha Leggero.
And it came up?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But this was months ago I saw that. I texted you, that was like 6, whenever it came out. I texted you about the socks on the kitchen counter and the.
Oh, does that happen to you? The guys put the socks by the bread?
It's just funny, yeah. What was that experience like? Because that was your first stand-up special?
No, I did a
that can't
Comedy
be
Central
right.
Presents,
Okay.
which is a half-hour special.
All right, and that was when?
I don't know, 8 years ago? 6 years ago?
And
5 years ago? I don't know. 7?
keep going.
No clue.
No, but then
I don't remember
But this is
things.
the first, like a 1-hour special.
Yes.
That's a big deal. But I also feel like you should have had 3 already.
I know, it's so hard to come up with a new hour all the time. I can't do it.
Are you going to do it next year?
I would like to, but I also, have 10 new episodes of our show to try to figure out.
Yes.
So I think it's really hard I think Jeremy gave us this advice. He said that things started happening for him when he picked one thing and just focused on it.
Really?
And that was, I think, Drunk History.
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep a bunch of things, you want to
Which is
do.
what he's doing now, though. Like, he works himself into the ground.
Yes.
With
Well,
drunk,
he's
'cause
in
Drunk
demand.
History, he was shooting Drunk History while, like, they were recording the interviews that he was trying to make while he was directing another period.
I know.
That's a lot,
I know. It's really hard.
but he's really good.
He's talented.
And he's jumping at it.
Yeah, maybe at the beginning when he was trying to break through, that was kind of the answer, to pick one thing and focus on it.
Is that what you've done? Is that, what would your, like,
I mean, that definitely
MO be?
inspired me. Because if you're always working on a bunch of things, how do you kind of have to focus your energy, and if you want to make something great, don't you think?
yeah, but you do both, though. You're both acting and producing and writing and doing stand-up. That's a lot. Like, you're
Well, the
spreading
stand-up
yourself out.
probably suffers.
Do you feel like you're segueing away from stand-up and more towards acting?
No, because I
Full-time.
still like doing it. I think I just have to wait till the time period comes where I can have some time off to write things and then go perform them.
But
But I'm also going on tour a little bit.
But do you like that, going on tour?
Yeah, it depends on where. Like
are you
Moshe and I
going?
just went on a honeymoon tour. So we went to our 10 favorite cities on the West Coast and just performed there and then turned it into a honeymoon.
Did you switch off who opened for whom?
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't want to get into a marital fight. I'm so impressed. What was
Wait.
that like?
Well, honestly,
Have you ever toured with your lovemaking partner?
what's so weird about it?
I hate that term. I just
No,
said that
but-
to see if it would gross you out.
Love making partner.
Yeah, it's so gross.
You think it's weird to tour with your husband?
No, I think it's great. I think that would be the ideal. You're both great stand-ups. You're totally different, and you could tour together. I mean, that would be great, right? Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy it?
It was really fun.
So why wouldn't you do that every time then?
Well, because we each have our own, I'm going to Australia and, he's going, we each have our own places.
That you're going on separate tours.
And I think, we sold out the whole tour, which was nice, but, we were playing rock venues and small theaters. So that was, comedy clubs, you sell out to more people, but you're there for 4 days as
Okay.
opposed to just one day.
What do you prefer?
Going on a vacation, a working honeymoon with my husband. It's more fun.
Can you do it every year, the anniversary tour,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
and sell out?
Well, the reason why we thought of our honeymoon tour is because we were in Newport and they were talking about this rich family who lived in this house, and they're like, yes, when the couple got married, they went on a 10-year honeymoon and then came back with 3 kids. Like these
What?
people were so rich.
What do you mean they went on it? They
just went on honeymoon
for 10 years?
Yeah. And then I was like, wait, why does your honeymoon just have to be one little trip?
No, it doesn't. We can write our own rules.
Exactly.
We can write our own marriage rules.
Did you go on your honeymoon yet?
No,
No?
kind of.
Why haven't you been on your honeymoon?
I know. Well, kind of. We didn't go on a honeymoon at all. We did a 1-year anniversary last year
Oh, to that place in
at
Mexico?
Playa Escondido where they shoot Bachelor in Paradise.
You told me about that place. It looked cool.
It was great. It was really fun.
But
you
that
went on
wasn't-
your honeymoon. You went to Bora Bora, Fiji?
Bora Bora.
Bora Bora, which looks beautiful.
It's beautiful. It was just like very remote. Like
Yeah.
we took a van ride with some other couples and everyone was on their honeymoon. So that was also kind of weird. And so we took this van ride to this restaurant and on the way there, the driver just killed a dog. And everyone was like talking and
Wait,
then
while you were in the van,
yes,
thump.
he just killed him and just kept driving. And then when we finally got to our restaurant, I got out of the car and I was like, excuse me, you do know you killed a dog. And he started laughing. He's like, ha ha ha, yes, too many dog. And I was like, okay, well, I think you almost killed the dog. He's like, no, a dog dead. Too many dog. So, I mean, you're in a very remote place with
Too many dogs.
too many dogs. But that was slightly horrifying.
Would you, is there somewhere else you would have preferred to have gone on your
Oh,
honeymoon?
I mean, it was a beautiful vacation. No, I want to go to more places. You know, there's so many places I haven't been to. I haven't been to Japan. I haven't been to India.
I haven't been to either of those places.
Do you want to go to those places? Don't you want to see everything?
I want to go to Venice. We're trying to figure out how to go to Venice.
I'm going to Venice next week because
Next
I'm
week?
making Moshe take me there because it's sinking.
It is sinking and it's not going to be there forever.
Right. So I'm like, I should probably just go see it now.
Where are you going to be? Oh no, I don't
Just
wanna.
in Venice. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
I
tell me
rented
where.
an Airbnb on the water.
You did?
My friend told me about it. It's kind of cheap.
Like a little palazzo?
I think so.
An
I don't know.
appartamento?
Yeah, an
Did you study
appartamento.
Italian?
No.
I'm trying on the Rosetta Stone. I'm not very good.
Oh, I tried to learn French on that. It was hard.
it's smart. It's very well done. But
Will you do that every day? Will you practice
yeah, I
Rosetta Stone?
say I'll do it every day. I did it one day and I haven't done it since.
I mean, I
And it
have
costs a lot.
I have such a fantasy about an ideal day. I would love to have the, is it just sort of the willpower to just wake up and then meditate, then do yoga, then practice Rosetta Stone for a half an hour, then do my piano scales, then, just
Tap dance. Do a little writing. Yeah.
basically I want to be at Montessori school.
But nobody
what
nobody
it
has
seems
that.
like.
Nobody has that willpower, do they?
I don't know.
I should work. I'm not working.
How does anyone learn how to do anything?
They have willpower or youth.
And then the evening,
I don't
I'd like to
know.
go to the grocery store and then make one of these blue aprons.
Blue Apron comes to you, Natasha.
Oh, you're right.
They ship it to you, and you get like
maybe I'm
3
the-
meals at the
30 meals?
3 at a time. I
Oh.
think. It's a good.
And does stuff go bad?
No, it can't go. No, I mean you
So it's
can't
no
have
fresh
leftovers
fish or
for more
anything.
than 4 days. It all comes to you fresh.
Right, but you've got to
And then
cook
you
it. You
cook
can't
it.
like cook it in 2 weeks.
No, I think you have to cook it. You have to cook it that day or within 2 days or 3 days, I think. And then you can
Start.
freeze it and it won't go bad.
Right.
Now I want to know if there are any questions about your outfit. Have we gotten any questions about her outfit?
Not about her outfit, no.
Oh, about what? About her
No,
attitude.
mostly just people wanted you to talk about another period, which you did extensively.
What are you not telling us about another period?
Just
Me?
specifically what any moments that you two shot that you, and if you want to talk about any of those, anything that you particularly enjoyed, or
I enjoy I want to know, can I ask Paget a question?
Yeah.
I know you'd rather ask me
Maybe I
questions.
won't answer
You're
it.
good at deflecting.
What? What?
What is your accent based on? Are you like, do you descend from Boston Brahmins? Do you? You
Okay,
do.
So on the one
You
hand,
do.
okay, on the one hand, wait. There are 2 answers to that question. The first answer is my family did come over on the Mayflower. William Brewster, elder William Brewster, was one of the 5 families that survived the Mayflower.
That's
And-
amazing.
Yes.
What
but
year is that?
Oh no.
Is it like in the-
15?
Oh,
no.
the 1500s?
Hold on.
Or what decade?
What
or
was it? The Mayflower.
Century? 1500?
No, hold on. 1492 was Columbus.
Correct.
This is, no, the Mayflower landed in 1620. 1620, I was close.
No, 1620 or 1520?
16. I was off by 100
So
years.
your family has been, you were one of the 5 families that came over on the Mayflower?
that survived the pneumonia and all
So
the
one of the
diseases
5?
Yes, one of the first 5, the 5 families in the
By
US.
the way, when I Googled it, the Mayflower Moving Company was the first thing to come up. Then
Oh,
the
we don't
actual
own that.
Mayflower.
Yeah, we have nothing to do. But also
that's
we lost.
amazing.
Yeah, but the family lost all of the money in the Depression. So we're not Boston Brahmin.
But could you do your family tree from William
Yes.
to you?
Correct.
So your family line, if you don't have kids, is going to end. That doesn't bother you? That's like such, talk about someone who has,
No, 'cause I have cousins.
stamina and wherewithal to like do what they want to do, like coming over here. Where did they come from, England?
Yeah. Well, they went to Norway first. Everyone did before they
And everyone just got
Left for the New
sick
World.
and died, right?
they tried to build a utopia in Norway and they left England to go to Norway, I think, and then came here. So that's part of the answer to the question is yes, I am a Mayflower descendant, but it doesn't have the advantages that you would think it would have. It doesn't. But the accent is because I thought I was just filling in for Michaela that day at the reading. The accent I did was a little bit like an accent I do in the Thrilling Adventure Hour in Beyond Belief, which is a stage show I've been doing for 11 years with Paul F. Tompkins. He and I play married mediums who are drunk all the time, and that character's name is Sadie. That's a mid-Atlantic accent. So when I did the table read, I thought, in this Downton Abbey, like, mirror world, Elizabeth McGovern is the mother. And I am basically pretending to be Maggie Smith. But the mother in Downton Abbey is American with a British family. So I thought, well, I'll be British, like that kind of British accent with the American family.
Like basically like the transatlantic.
It's basically
That movie
transatlantic,
stars
but a little
did,
bit
and-
more. Yeah, a little bit. But I didn't want it to be the same as the Sadie accent. But then when it was kind of very, very close. So then.
So Dodo, would you say if you had to describe
She's
how
Victoriana.
she's different than Sadie? How is she different than Sadie? And can you say it
very
in a sentence? I want
So this is she's a better interviewer than I am.
Day talks like she makes everything flat, or I don't know how do you do it. That's too British.
I don't know, but there is a little bit more British to it. I don't know. Let me read the Blue Apron ad again. Hold on. Let me say, wait. Flexible. Customize your recipes each week based on your preferences. Choose delivery options to fit your needs.
Wait, what I like about that is the delivery options, you're like aghast. Like, it's so stupid.
It is like
It's absurd.
She's a
delivery option.
easy. And Sadie's softer. Sadie is a little bit more mid-Atlantic, less tough, stoic-y British, and sort of more. I try to remember that there was like a Gap jeans I had a few years ago that used Audrey Hepburn's voice, where she says,
Oh, right, she's got a
it was
good
like
one.
the pow pow, like some Capri ad
She
for
sort of
Capri.
talked she was almost European.
She
right?
was British. She was born in. Audrey Hepburn was born in London, I believe. So she was, but her girl wants to dance. A girl wants to dance. Like it was like that weird, like instead of dance. You know what I mean? Do you do accents? I feel like you must have been a Russian hooker in something.
I can't. Russian's hard. That's not one of the ones I could instinctively.
What do you instinctively do?
I could do like, I don't know, Cockney,
That's good.
Southern,
That's hard.
Chicago,
Ooh.
and Brooklyn.
Yeah?
I'd say that's my comfort zone.
But you do voices too. You've done you did animation voices for a long time, for a couple, right? With this show, what is the name of this show? You did it. Tell me what the name of it is. Come on.
Oh, I mean, I do a lot of cartoons. I don't. Ugly Americans.
Yes.
Brickleberry.
Yes. Ooh, the Jeselnik Offensive.
Have you had Anthony on your show?
No. What show?
It's really fun.
This isn't my show.
Who else did you guess?
Is Jeselnik decent?
Yes.
Seems like he might be a weasel.
No, he's very cool.
Is he cool?
Yeah, wait, why do you think that?
I don't know. Something about him rubs me the wrong way.
That's so interesting.
He seems like he could be a jerk.
No, he's very funny, and he definitely has a persona. I'm sure people think very
'cause he's
similar
kind of
things
rude
about
and-
me.
No.
When they see me on stage, they're like, oh, that girl must be such a cunt.
You think people think that?
When they see me on stage, probably.
I guess I've known you since before you were on stage, so I knew. But there is something I did want to ask you, although today is not indicative of your general high level of glamour.
I don't look glamorous today?
No, you do look glamorous, but you're not all. I thought you were going to show up in like a mink
Oh, come on.
and chandelier earrings because you do dress up. You are a glamorous, elegant. You dress up. You're not a female comedian who's trying to downplay her looks, which was another question I wanted to ask you about that Why We Laugh documentary, which again is so good. You should. I bought it. I rented it because I did Natasha Leggero, and that came up, and I was like, a documentary on female comics. I've never even seen this. I hadn't heard about this, so I rented it, and then when I finished it last night, I bought it at the end because I want to watch it again. I thought it was really impressive, really, really interesting.
I mean, I didn't create that documentary.
I don't
I
know
was
who
just
did.
interviewed on it.
I know, but still, it was really interesting, and it's everyone. It's everyone. But a lot of the stand-ups were talking about how in the beginning, sort of the comedic female pioneers of comedy, Phyllis Diller, Moms Mabley, not Cloris Leachman. Who was I going to say?
Joan Rivers?
Joan Rivers, to some extent Lucille Ball, and maybe comedically Cloris isn't that far. That they downplayed how they looked. They were not allowing themselves to be
That's not
beautiful,
true, though.
curvy,
Because-
vivacious.
Oh, they
Lily Tomlin
downplayed-
was saying their personal looks on stage. Lily Tomlin was
Right.
saying.
They were glamorous, but like, what's her name? Phyllis Diller would dress like a
That's-
crazy freak show.
Correct, because that was the only way, I think Whoopi Goldberg was saying,
Right.
that was the only way that the audience knew, oh, she's supposed to be funny and we can laugh.
That's interesting.
And you
yeah.
are a very feminine.
Well, it's not like that anymore. And also, Joan Rivers would always dress
Well,
up.
Lily Tomlin was saying Joan Rivers would crack all these jokes about being flat-chested, and she's a really curved, she
Oh,
was
really?
yeah, and that when she started out, she would deflect, and it was about, how she can't cook and she has no it was all sort of defeatist. That was how female stand-ups were breaking in, was they couldn't. And then someone said something like, well, I've never heard anyone say, oh, that Angelina Jolie, she's a cut-up. I get it, the idea that a bombshell, Anne Margaret walking out to do stand-up in a fur bikini, I'm not necessarily going to be like, oh, it's going to be good. But you are very glamorous.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself a bombshell. I'm like 4'11", so I think that immediately makes people feel okay. And,
But can people tell that you're 4'11" on TV if you're doing a special?
No, I guess not. But maybe I just seem not that intimidating.
Have you ever had an agent or a manager say to you, you need to take it down, you gotta wear spectacles or?
No, because I think that stand-up, and if you do stand-up, what I think is attractive about it is it's just a heightened version of yourself. Or someone else described it as like your evil twin. Or, it's you're kind of doing this other version, it's just heightened. It's like so for me, I always kind of dressed like that. So, or not like in furs, but like I always liked, to be dressed up. I like dresses and vintage things, and so you just kind of do what you do, but heighten it.
So, but when you say you think people would watch you doing stand-up and think, oh, she might be a cunt. Do you feel like you are utilizing your evil twin on stage to, or are you afraid, or is it something you're saying things that people might take offense at?
Yeah, but sometimes if you're like in a dress and long gloves, people don't think you're as mean because you're like, it seems like it's like a character kind of.
Would you ever try totally different material that is not based on your life in prosthetics at an open mic?
I mean, would I?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of work, but sure. For you?
No, I don't need you to do that. But thank you. I really appreciate it. What would you do if you
I mean, I think
couldn't do stand-up or couldn't act? Like you are banned. No one will hire you.
I would probably decorate. Like be a designer or something, or
Like
you know.
Indian tea tents?
I would decorate or paint.
Figurative painting?
I like that,
or
yeah.
Landscapes, people, nudes.
Nudes, I'm good at.
Do you paint nudes?
I mean, I'll sketch them if I've taken classes where they have like a live model.
But you don't have people over to your house.
No, but I would like to.
Sketch Moshe.
I mean, he just would have to sit there. Wait, can I
Yeah,
ask
he
you
could do that.
What would you do if you were banned?
If I was banned.
You'd be married to some rich guy,
Wait.
probably.
I wish I'd thought that far ahead. No, you know what? I dated a bunch of rich guys because I thought, oh, well, this is, I make a certain amount. I don't want to be, I should, and they're, no.
Wait, what would you do?
I don't like it. What would I do if I couldn't?
Would you be a
act?
chef? Are you that into cooking?
No. I want to be Chris Harrison. I'd like to host a bachelorette.
That
show.
doesn't. You can't pick. You
I
can't
can't
pick
do
that
that
though.
either.
No,
I can't
nothing
be a
in the entertainment.
newscaster?
No.
Nothing.
You're such an actress to your core.
I only want to do what I want to do.
There's nothing else you're
I'm
good
not
at.
good enough to be a designer. You're good enough to be a designer. I'm not. Are you thinking
Would
practically
you be a
about it?
teacher? Could you teach? No.
You know what I'd like to do? Oh, this would be the dream. If I could teach feminine ways to people transitioning gender. That would be a dream.
You'd be like Private Miss Jean Brody, but for transgenders.
Yes. Yes, or just cross-dressers, because 75% of all cross-dressers are heterosexual. They're not transitioning to be women, but they want, when they're cross-dressed, to sit properly and have tea.
Do you
and
feel
as a Mayflower descendant, I feel like I would be really good at that.
Wait,
I
did
would
you
do that.
Did you learn things about etiquette when you were growing up?
Yes, that is required if you are descended from
Really?
Mayflower. We had dancing classes and French classes and horseback riding.
Really?
And etiquette. And
I thought they didn't have any money. Who funded it?
Well, okay, my grandparents had a little bit of money for private education.
Only for your equestrian
for
pursuits.
my brother and I. Well, no, actually, that was like I didn't have a horse or equestrian. I went to a camp once that had horses. A camp. So I did
your
learn how to horseback ride.
Your grandmother kind of funded your upbringing.
My brothers and I don't think that's grammatically correct, education, because my parents were teachers. So we were, in a way, we were poor, but in a way we were extremely fortunate.
What was your grandma like? Was she just like very snobby?
They both were great. Both grandmas were great. But I can't discuss my grandmothers on camera because I have to wrap it up. So I'm going to ask you. Have you ever heard a piece of advice that was helpful to you, or do you have a piece of advice for people who want to do what you do?
Piece of advice?
Yeah. No one's given you a piece of advice that you thought was very helpful.
Yeah.
We're going to stretch this 5 minutes out.
Oh, do we have to
forever.
go? Sorry.
No. I'm just messing with you because it's fun. I like that you think before you answer, though. You're not. I wish I had more centeredness. I like that about you.
I would say, I mean, here's why I'm thinking, because all of the advice is cheesy. So I'm like, oh, what's a way to say it? You know, because like,
okay.
Because the reality is, if you really want to do something, you just have to like start doing it. You know what I mean? You just have to stop thinking about it. Because I see a lot of people who ask me that kind of question. They're just like, I'm really thinking about getting into stand-up, and I'm really thinking about this, and I've been thinking about this for like a year now. And you know, people are always deliberating,
Right.
and I think you just have to like step into the world of action.
That's great.
But I don't know if that's advice.
That's perfectly sound, reasonable, and truthful, and probably the hardest thing for people to do. And then they shouldn't be doing it if they can't do that. Just do it. That's why I haven't done open mic night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for Natasha Leggero and the missing Kevin Pollak.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me guest host. Do I need to say anything? Jamie!
He closes with "Get out of my face" if you want to do
Oh,
that.
wait
or
a
make
minute.
up a
I
new
didn't tell
closer.
her about
That's
the.
Okay.
Get out of my face.
No, he has this one game that he plays, and I forgot to tell you about it though.
What is
He
it?
has. Oh God, I'm not going to say Bill Snyder. That's not right.
Larry King.
Larry King. At the end of the show, he has his guest do the Larry King game, where you are going to say a crazy title of something, a crazy town, as if you were Larry King. I'm not explaining this properly.
Okay.
You need to do there's 3 parts to it.
Oh shit.
Are we doing this?
Oh my God.
It's a bad Larry King impression. You reveal something made up about yourself as Larry King, and then you go to the phones, and the more funny sounding the name of the town is, the better.
Like, I eat too many beans, and now to you, in Pimlico. That's not right. I just made myself cough.
That was good. Do I have to do it?
You know,
That was great.
I don't think you do. I think it's been done and done poorly.
Are we
By me.
still shooting? I'm confused. Okay.
Oh, so that's it. Yeah, I did it, and I did it badly, and it was my fault that I didn't tell Natasha that that's how the show ends, because I forgot last time. Thank you guys so much for having me back again. I'm sorry. I know I just highlight how good Kevin Pollak is at his job.
You're
I
like
accept that.
John Belushi. They said on SNL, he would just always tell everyone, "I'm not going to be good in this sketch. It's going to be terrible. I don't want to go on stage."
I don't
and then it would be
believe
like,
that he was.
"Live from New York, it's Saturday night," and he would blow everybody out of the water, and they would be
she
like,
does that every time. She
I'm not doing. No, I'm genuinely. I'm trying to do the best I can.
Though that she doesn't think that she's going to do a good job, and she knocks it out of the park every time. So don't worry about it. You're
"Well,
great.
I don't think I did
if
a
I
good
knocked
job."
it out of the park, Kevin would not have me back. I think I highlight how good he is without being so bad that no one ever tunes in. Right? I think I'm I'm fine with that. I'll take it. Because hopefully I'll get better. So thanks, everybody. And thank you, Natasha Leggero.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you. Beautiful Santa Monica. Have a great day.